Double cheeked up. Let the hips out. America. Okay. Hey Artsy, what's going on? Hey, what are you going to draw? I'm just doing something real quick sketch before I go to bed. I just wanted to try something. I want it recorded, see if I can try it out. Damn, she's kind of bad though. I didn't even finish it. This is why I draw anime girls, because people be saying shit like that and then the shit won't even be done. This shit be funny. Okay. Just the form though. Look forward. Look good though. Way better than. I hear you. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, bruh. Look good so far. Thank you. What time is it for you where you live? It might be midnight for me. It's 3 a.m. She's very good. I like it. I feel like the ears place is off. I'll never say it was done. Actually, we'll push it more back in the thing so we can see more of the back of the head. Because the more we see the head, the less we see the back of it. So that'll be more like that. And I can come back to it a little bit later. So right now I'm trying to move faster than the time. I'm not trying to stay on too long, sadly. I would like to stay on longer, but no, I'm not doing that. Let's see. I want to see if I can try something here. I was talking to the guy. Oh, okay. That really is a sick drawing. Thank you. I think. Close to the reference here. Okay. Let's see here. And then look at the brass about here. Okay. Actually, I did that wrong. Shit. Okay, back. Okay. Like that. I didn't really put the on. Oh, that's where the. Oh. Okay. I think he does once in a while. Let me see. Do you use reference? Yeah, I'm using reference right now. Diana. Hello, Diana. Sorry, I was not meaning to come off rude, but the ear, I'm an artist too, so that's why it's so annoying when people do stuff. Oh, I understand, but it's not like I said it was done. I'm still working. Sadly, this is not really the focus on the anatomy too much, but I'm trying to do something here based on. Well, I get what you're saying. Okay, so this looks really off because it looks like it's kind of off by the outfit. Now, what we need to do, get that shape here, right? And then this part here is off. Okay, like that. Let me go down. My cool name, okay, you need sleep better, okay, looks like you've gotten more views since last been here. I always get more views every time I go on. It's nothing. The only difference is now I'm doing person on TikTok, and I think that's a lot more profitable than going on TikTok. TikTok hardly pays you anything. But I'm not too doubtful on the views part, given the stuff I draw, so it's not that really shocking. This shoulder here looks like this. I'm gonna make this like this. Are you finally finished? Nope, I am not. That's why I'm doing this real quick. I want to see something. I'm actually not. I'm actually doing this for a good reason, for the skin thing. Now the butt here. Surprised she's not in bed. Alright. Still, like the stream. The aggression in TikTok barely pays you anything. Yeah, I know. They barely pay you anything. So, I'm just on TikTok for appearances most cases, but not that long, not that much. But I still have supporters there that still watch me, so I have to stream and give them the notice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay. So I'm going to do that. Okay. very stupid. Okay. Okay. Have you ever taken any art classes? No, I mastered it to brag, but just a little. I can draw. I don't know. Okay. No, Artex during take classes. During take classes. No, I'm not gonna do that. How your day go, Art? Good. I hope. Also, probably do a canvas flip check to be safe. Not gonna do that because that's not the focus. The focus. I'm not focusing. I'm not drawing this to be accurate. This is more on a skin thing. So this is more of a lighting thing. It's not about accuracy right now. Just want to see if I can pull this off. Because I don't have time to do that, all that fixing back and forth, back and forth. That's why I'm doing this fast. I got less than an hour, so I'm trying to see how fast I can do it within an hour. So I'm just sacrificing accuracy for just the idea of lighting. So I'm gonna go here. Let's see, like, so let's just say the light is coming from, let's say the light is coming this way. The light's coming this way. Shadow. Shadow be this way somewhere. In this particular areas. So I gotta remember that part. So I'm gonna turn this down. Just saw some of your vids. You got good eye of placements. Hope you keep it zen and keep drawing. Thank you. I'm drawing while watching you draw. I'm on at the limit, so I gotta move fast. I saw you watching playing something that I think was Creative Genshin. Yes, it's called Zenless Zone Zero. I was sponsored by them. I have to do the thing tomorrow. Wait, there is an ending to Genshin. Don't know, to be honest. If anyone wanted to play Genshin now, I don't think it'll take them a long time to even catch up with everyone just currently. I don't like the color. It looks too mud. So I'm gonna do that. Like that. And then like that. Okay. Come on. Right. Let's come this way. So I gotta make sure that the light is coming. Okay. Okay. Bye, last class. Okay. I'm just lazy right now. Download it. Okay, now I'm gonna bother him. If you leave, you can go pieces without even telling him. Draw an easy and fast among us on top. No, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Next to boring. It's very plastic. Okay. Now, the problem here is that we need to put some color. It looks too plain. I don't like it. So I'm going to use a better brush with texture. Okay. Gotta move fast. That's what happens. You end up being a teacher now. Okay. This isn't Elden Ring. No, it's not, Christina. It's not Elden Ring. You lied to yourself. I think you played yourself. I really hope you get breaks off from work time to time. Nah, I don't need breaks. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. I keep working harder. I'll work harder. Okay, hello. Wait, this ain't free V-Bucks? No, no. No free V-Bucks here. Sorry. Okay. Now, the arm here is way too wide. That one makes it look really strange. So what I'm gonna do... Okay. This arm is way too wide. You see how wide that is? That looks really strange. The placement of that is way too. That should have been a lot more skinnier. It should be about here. So that's where that problem comes in. But since I'm on a time crunch, I don't have time to fix that. Let me see. Let me put some. Draw me an anime. No, I'm sorry, that's a commission. You can commission him to do an anime character. Yes, you have to commission me. Sorry. I think you have to pay for that. Yep. Show front, you gotta pay for that. It's so detailed. I don't think it's detailed. It's really shit, to be honest, compared to what we did today, well, yesterday technically, what we did yesterday with the coloring of here. We did pretty well with this one last night, or yesterday technically, but there is problems with it in the sense of a bit muddiness, a slight bit of muddiness, and I think a bit of a lack of direction to a certain extent. It's just a smidge, but none, especially with this one. The lighting needs to be a lot more directed, more compared to this one. So I'm trying to see what I can do in a small set of time instead of having 5 to 8 hours to work on something. So I give myself an hour before I go. What app are you using? Clip Studio Paint, thank you. If you think that is shit, then what is my art? It's shit based on how I feel about my work. Doesn't mean your art is shit. Never compare your work to other people's work, because yours might be a progress while they're trying to be on their progress. So I would never compare my work to someone who hasn't drawn as much or doesn't have as much experience. I don't think that's fair. I think that's kind of wrong to do. You should always compare to people who are close to your skill level, not someone who's outside that skill level. So I wouldn't compare myself to someone who's like a grandmaster professional. I would only compare myself to my peers who I know, or peers that I'm close to. Now, the goal is to get to that grandmaster focus, that grandmaster goal, but you're not going to get there by just looking at the grandmaster. You have to look at your peers to a certain extent and see what they're doing, and take what they learned and apply it to what you're doing, and then also look at the grandmaster as well. But so it is what it is. I'm too broke for that. I'm sorry to say it for you, bro. I just think my art is trash on a daily. Everyone thinks their art is trash on the daily. I don't think there's a single person who actually genuinely thinks their art is good, but they can actually admit their art is good enough to sell or something. But I don't think it'll be at the standard of for most people anyway, who makes the art. It'll only be good for the people who are not making the art because they didn't have to put the effort of making it or purchasing it, depending on what the situation is. I like that painterly look. That's what I'm trying to keep intact. I don't like it when it's like a plastic looking. So this is what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to search for is those nice brush strokes in the coloring. I like those brush strokes. It feels more painterly. I don't like it when it's like one unified color. It looks really plastic and bland. I like the texture in the drawings a lot, like what Rhino Tuna does. I like his type of artwork or so. How to tag and chat. I was gonna put the link to the Commissioner Artexrtic, but couldn't remember the link. I think it's in my Instagram. You can always check that out if you want, bro. It's in my Instagram or my TikTok. The link's there if you want to check it there, Mike. You don't have to, you don't want to, because I know it's late, so. But if they really want it, just give it to them. Or I think if I remember right, you can type in exclamation commission, I think, or exclamation my stuff. I think it still works in the YouTube Shorts. I'm not totally sure. If it does work, that's cool. If it doesn't, then you got to wait till tomorrow, when I'm actually officially streaming on my other platforms at the same time. I'm just doing a late thing just because I was in the mood to just really get it in with the skin. Sounds funny to say, but you know. Okay, now I'm gonna put some color in there. I'm gonna put some pinks. I'll put extra more reds in there, but I'm gonna put some pink in there. Okay. The skin is not bad, but it can be a lot better. It feels kind of like, eh. Alright, currently joking. What I mean by let's just say, let me see, with the Sigma, okay, we're like underrated. I'm okay, I'm not that good, to be honest. I'm just trying my best to understand skin, because skin is tricky for me to do. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna throw some blues in there. I think that'll look nice, but not too dark, but not too light. So I'm gonna throw some blues and then mix it in. I'm gonna put it in more in the darker areas, like here, there, and then I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so I can mix in a little better. Okay, and then put it a little bit here. And then turn it down a little bit more. There we go. Let me see. Worst thing is that I'm a traditional artist who swapped to digital, so I practically lost all skill. No, you didn't, dude. No, listen, bro. I don't know what you're telling yourself. You being a traditional artist, depending on how long you've been a traditional artist, if you're just moving to digital, you didn't lose anything. Digital art is just another tool. That's all it is. The only thing you have to learn is literally the buttons and where everything is. If you already know how to paint or draw or whatever the hell, it's not that hard. The only thing I moved from traditional was literally paper and a pencil. That's all I did for the last, since I was 6 up to I was born in 94. I did it at 6 all the way to, I started digital in 2016. Or so. I think I was like 23, 24 at the time. I was, before even digital, I was just doing paper and pencil. That's it. I didn't do no acrylic markers and all that shit, none of that. And it was not that hard to get into digital art because I already knew somewhat how to draw at the time. And when I say somewhat knew how to draw, like competently more than my peers. So I don't know why people think if they move the digital, they're just gonna lose everything. It's weird. It's just a tool. That's all it is. That's all it is. Awesome skill. Well done. Thank you. I think there's a little bit too much blue. A little bit. Just pull it back a little bit. There we go. We want to see a bit of the blue that mixes in with the skin, but we don't want it to be too strong. I'm going to throw another color in there. I'm going to actually add a little bit more red to just give more subsurface scattering to a certain extent to see a little bit of give it more life. Oops, not on top of that. Okay, wait, is that on top? That's what the blue, right? That's what the blue, okay. Let me put a little more, a little red. I'll turn it down completely because we don't want it to be overpowering the blue. But I want it to look as lively as possible. And then I'm going to turn it down pretty low. I might even make it into a multiply. There we go. See, I would have made this into an actual drawing, but I don't have time to do it. So I'm just kind of running against the clock. Like I said, this arm is way too wide. That looks really wide. I would pull this back in, but I don't have time to correct stuff. I'm just moving really fast because if I keep myself focused and not worry about details and all this stuff and stay on the objective, then things will go fine. I can always do this another time. I can always adjust things later. I don't have time for that right now, but usually I have to go against my nature not to fix it because I have the wanting to fix it, but I don't have the time, so I prioritize what I want before or a distraction comes through. I'm gonna put a little yellow here because the sides come from this side. I'll put a little. And then a little yellow here. Actually, shouldn't use that much. We actually should use a soft brush to put a little more lighting. There we go. That's amazing. Great advice. He needs to think he can do it easily since the reality is that it's all in his head. Yeah, it's all in your head. It's all in your head, really. Just majority of the time, just to let everyone know, if you're having a hard time drawing something, it's literally all in your head. It's not that you're incompetent to do it or you're dumb or anything like that. Don't think that because that's just a feeding idea. It's just the muscle memory is not there yet or the concept is not synced in as yet. Always worry about the concept, not it looking perfect. Don't worry about the details. Understand the bigger picture first, what you're trying to do. Because a lot of people focus on the little things and then that's what fucks up the whole bigger picture. You gotta look at drawings like primary shapes, secondary shapes, tertiary shapes. People do this thing where they are going to draw the primary shape and then they run to the tertiary shapes, meaning the details, and then say, oh, my drawing doesn't look as good as the professional. Obviously it's not because you just started or you've been doing it for a few hundred times, right? So don't take it so personal. It's not you. It's just that you're not there yet. It's like playing an RPG. It's like if you play the first level, are you really expecting to be as level 50 as your friend who's been playing it for a very long time? No. I'm saying just take your time. Can you draw food, please? No, I can't draw food, sadly. Even if I could, I can't. Well, I mean, I can't draw food. I never really attempted to. One day, maybe. Because, I think it tells a lot of people's art skills when they can make food look delicious. I just started digital art, maybe a year ago, so I'm still looking for good brushes. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I am being dead ass with you. Brushes don't mean anything. It's just aesthetic. It's funny I say that because earlier I was saying I want more texture in the skin, but that's just an aesthetic, right? But it's ultimate aesthetic. I don't fuck with brushes like that. The only reason why I have 1,010 brushes is because I literally downloaded a pack from 4 or 5 years ago, never used them, and I'm now using them now because the whole point was to understand the concept of skin. And now because I know the concept, I'm literally not sticking with one brush. I'm just using every brush. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, for those who've been here, when I was doing this, I was using 7 to 8 brushes just blindly. I was not using a brush for a specific reason. I was using a brush because I just don't want everything to look the same in texture. I'm just literally switching between brushes on a whim. There's no like, okay, I'm gonna switch that brush at this time. No, I'm just literally picking random brushes just to keep the texture and everything look different so it looks like skin. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. You can use one brush, that's fine, but it just comes to my conclusion that you don't really need like a specific type brush. Like, this is why I always tell students to always focus on doing traditional first before you go digital. Because the problem with people who go to digital is that they get locked in a certain behavior. But with traditional, it's literally like you have to improvise. Because if you fuck up, you can't just erase it, right? This is why when I do traditional work on stream, I only use a pen. I don't use a pencil. I haven't used pencils in like fucking years. I haven't touched a pencil since what, 2016? Every time I draw traditional, I use a pen. Because what that does, it puts your mindset as, I can't rely on the eraser, right? Don't rely on the eraser, because what the eraser does, it makes you weak in the sense of, oh, I can always make a change. I can always fix it later. And that, because that insurance sits there, you're going to be more careless. You're not going to take it as serious. So that's why whenever you're doing a stroke, it's more, you're going to think more. Oh, you're not even going to think. If you make it more of a habit to use a pen, you're going to do on autopilot to think it out without thinking. So you're actually thinking without thinking, because you've done it so many times with the pen that your strokes are not going to be a bunch of scribbles. It's going to be like every stroke is going to mean something, or it's going to have enough line weight, or it's going to have enough understanding that I made that stroke. That stroke's there for a reason, and I'm going to move on from it. I'm not going to try scribble all the way, you know what I'm saying? You know, make a big mess, because the mess doesn't mean anything. It's the concept you're trying to engulf. Keep that concept intact. That's why I'm not trying to make this the anatomy correct. This is why I keep saying, I'm pointing out this is wrong, this arm is wrong, this office is wrong, but that's not the focus. The focus is the skin. That's what I'm saying. Do not focus on the little things like the arm and shit like this right now. Let me see. I use pens too because it's so much easier. Yeah, and after a while, when you start using pens, you look at the pencil like nothing, like it's like nah, because like I want to go based on my own merits. I don't want to. When I make a mistake, it's on me. It's not, oh, I can just fix it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's why, like, back in the day, that's why I always enjoyed playing games like Halo and Halo 2 and 3. Where it had every man for himself. That's what I loved about Halo. One of the game modes I loved so much, especially like in Battle Royales, but like Halo specifically, when they had Slayer, like every man for himself. I loved that because it was not a team thing. It was you and the other person and the other people in the room. So if you lost, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's not your teammate doing some stupid shit on the side. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I just do usually sketches, so that's why. I use pens too, so that's how I do things. Usually. I even tell like for this one here, like this drawing here, like these two drawings here. These two drawings, these are traced, okay? I don't like tracing stuff, but I only traced outside the concept and did all the painting on my own. I always tell my students, don't go into tracing because it causes a behavior where you can go down a slippery slope. But because the focus was just on painting, the tracing doesn't matter because the focus was on the shadows and the colors and the forms and stuff. This is something a lot of I think professionals will at least tell you. If you're going to trace, do it in the sense of education, but don't try to pass off as your work. Because I can't even pass this off as my work. I can only pass this off as a skin study. I can't even call this like my art, because this is just skin study and education. I only did the tracing because it was just getting the point A to point B, so I can focus on point B, not A. The A was the tracing part, just because the tracing part is just literally the container. It's just a container. Everything else was painted. So yeah. You're good at lighting. I'm pretty good at it, but I think the direction was off, like on this one particularly. And I noticed that when I painted this, I didn't make a good distinction and separation between the arm and the chest, and it looks like one whole like piece. And that's what the professional did over here. He or she made sure that there was a distinct separation based on just not only just the forms of the shading, but just there's a distinct separation. Mine is not distinct enough. You can tell what the person is doing, but it's not accurate enough to show there's a distinct separation between chest and arm. It feels like one whole body part, and it looks wrong. That's what makes it looks weird. So this is why, and for most students I will tell, don't get mad if the drawing looks like crap. Just look at it and say, okay, where did I go wrong? What can I fix? How can I not do this again? Right? That's reflecting. You have to reflect. Don't ever think of yourself as like a professional. Think of yourself as a student. But a lot of people don't do this because they don't want to seem the student. They want to be the master before becoming a student. And that's what makes the frustration comes in for most people. You're so good at lighting. Yeah, I've done that, and some got mad at me for tracing. I didn't use the line art that I had traced in the final piece, and it was also just for practicing. I understand, but people believe you have to draw everything out, which I get where that comes from. I do understand, and I understand where they're coming from, because it builds a certain behavior for that person to rely on tracing, and it can lead to them being like somewhat of their own villain, because if they start tracing more often, they're going to end up getting lazy and say, you know what, I'm going to just trace everything and call it mine. So I understand where they're coming from with that, because that has happened to people. They have started drawing, and then they went tracing, and then when they got really good at the tracing, as in like learning how to at least keep in line, that's where things go left, and they start being the villain of their own situation. And then they start passing off things that's not theirs. This is why if I decide to post this, I will put a disclaimer to anyone who's going to watch that video that the lines here are traced, and it's going to be in the video so they can see it. But everything else, color-wise, lighting-wise, shading-wise, is all me. So you have to make that disclaimer to everyone who's watching, because if you don't do that, it shows you're being deceitful. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Alright, night everyone. Hope you all have a good morning and good night. Okay, Mike, have a good night, bro. And thank you for sharing the link, bro. I do appreciate it. Oh, I kind of see it, but I love it. It looks great. Thank you. Now you see it. Now you can see it. See see. That's why I'm saying I don't really consider myself a professional. I see myself as somewhat of a student still learning, even though I'm teaching other people. Mainly when I say I'm teaching, what I'm saying is I'm giving them the information they need so they don't make the same mistakes I did when I started. That's pretty much what that is. So that's pretty much what ultimately all this is. Because the number one thing I had a problem with was making skin, and it was never looking like skin, right? I never liked how I made skin when I made my artwork. It pissed me off so much because it looked so plasticky, or it didn't look real. The colors looked muddy, or it looked like shit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make it my mission not to make any new artwork till I understand this concept. That's what I did with the 100 hand challenge when I was drawing 100 hands. I think I drew 101 hands, but it was the 100 hands challenge. So I drew 100 hands on stream in front of everyone, 100 hands. And I didn't move off from it till I got to the 100. So I did all different like poses of hands, holding weapons, holding like scissors or a pencil or a cards or wherever the fuck, or interacting with their hands, where the hell, usually. So, you're inspiring to me. Draw again. I got so mad because all my art looks like flat. I understand. The point of making things less flat, I don't know if you're doing color-wise or line-wise. What I kind of figured out when it comes to making things less flat is two things. If you're using just color, always make sure when you're about to shift a color or you're going to go darker, go on the color wheel and go down. So like for instance, I'll use an example. So like say if I'm going to color, say I color this yellow. This is a yellow circle, right? And if I wanted to shift this, I would shift down towards, because yellow is a lot brighter than red, so I will go towards a little bit towards the orange because we're going towards the red, but we're not going at red, we're going towards it, so we're going a little away from it. Then we go to our color picker, and then we saturate when we go to shadows. So when I shade it, it will look a lot better, because a lot of people do this thing where, and it looks like it's shaded a lot more. It looks more 3D because of the shading and the placement of how I did it, right? Now, a lot of people make this mistake or a lot of beginners make this mistake where when they're about to shade, they do this thing where they get the base color and they go straight down to black and they don't mess with the color wheel at all, and it looks like, is it okay? Oh wait, I made a mistake. Okay, get the color, right? And then they go straight down the black like here, and then when they start shading it, it looks muddy, it looks really dead, it looks lame compared to what I did before. Now the difference between the two is, even though this is brighter than this darkness, it is darker than the light on the base side. So I would get rid of this, and it looks good and looks more realistic, because if light's coming down onto your character or your object, if light's coming down on your object or your character, there's something called bounce light. So like if this object was hitting the floor, like it was a floor under it. So like here. So right here. So what's happening is that because the light's coming down, light bounces into everything. So it's bouncing back into the object from the floor, and because there's light in the shadow, it looks more realistic. If we went straight black, it'll look really muddy and disgusting. So yeah, that's something that a lot of beginners tend to ignore, because light's always bouncing everywhere. That's why when you saw me put colors into the skin, I put different colors, because your skin is not one color and one shade. It's a bunch of colors being hit around. Now I made it very, very subtle, but you can see a little bit of color in them. It's not just one pink. It's not like red, the base color, and then shade, because it's gonna look really dead. But when you put like blue and green and purple, and then you mix it in with the skin, and then you light it in, and then you turn down the opacity, it looks like real skin. So that's what that is. So that's what I've learned from my journey of doing this so far, and I'm getting more confident into it, but I still feel like I'm too harsh with the colors when it comes to the subsurface scattering. I think it's a little bit too harsh. So I'm trying to get good. You're like my favorite artist right now. You're very good at explaining things. I'm a teacher, so I try my best to teach my students if I can. So it's detriment for me to explain in a way that they can understand without feeling overwhelmed. That's why as soon as we get monetized, which we're very close to doing that's why I'm doing this, I'll be going back making tutorials again, teaching you guys how to do skin, how to draw head, X, Y, and Z more efficiently. Because we was doing, I think, when I first really took drawing skin more seriously, let me see, I think it was this. I did this just 2 days ago. So like, we was working on this yesterday, because I was doing like body parts, right? And I was trying to understand how to shade the stomach. And instead of getting upset and frustrating myself and going to something I already know, I took it upon myself and had people watch me do it, and then this is where it's funny, where my students or people who are brand new who watches my stream and say, how do you get so good? And usually I'm practicing. That's why. It was like most of the time I'm just always practicing. Even when I'm streaming, I'm practicing. But a lot of people don't like hearing that because it's too much work, or it's boring, or because they want like a up down A B life right left type cheat code. Like I'm gatekeeping, or whatever the fuck the kids like to call it these days. It's not. It's just literally practice. I'm still here. Hey, bro. I see you. I see you. That looks so good. Thank you. So like this was our first try. This is my first attempt of really taking it seriously. This is the first try. And then I did a second pass. This is the second try. And with the second try, it was a little better. A little better. Not that better, but better, because the definition was a little better compared, because this was a lot, I would say this was a lot more like really trying, like it was really compensating. But it got better as we did it again. And then I made the stomach here, and it looked more like a stomach. It looked a lot better, I could say. But the colors seemed kind of like it was lacking a form or direction, right? And then with the skin. And then I did it again, but it was more focused on the form. Okay. Hey, why do we use that greenish shade to skin? Oh, this one? Oh, because I was mixing colors together for the skin, because the skin is not just one color. It's a mix of colors that's happening. So if you see this green and this blue and a little bit of purple, that's what's happening. I'll explain that in a second. And then here, I got a little better with the form. It looked like a stomach, it felt like a stomach, but it still was lacking in some places. I think the issue was the lack of colors. I did put some pink in here. You can probably see a pink right here in this particular area here and up here. And then I really started throwing more colors in, more blues, because the blue actually gives it a sense of vein, like a blue vein here and here and here. How did you start drawing? I started drawing when I was 6, but my inspiration was my father. He didn't teach me how to draw or paint, but as a kid growing up, he would always draw me like Digimon, Pokemon. He would draw real people, an inanimate object, whatever, whenever he had a pen in his hand, or whatever the case may be. And I always thought that was kind of cool. I think back when I was living in New York and Long Island, he painted me a giant picture of the Red Ranger. This is in the early 2000s, so I was really, really young. He painted me when we moved, and he was painting my room. He painted me a giant picture of the Red Ranger, and it was really cool. And it was really, really fucking cool. And I think it was those little things that he did that really inspired me again to drawing and doing painting. So it was really cool. Yeah, like a hint of rose color. Yeah, like those little hints of these little colors can really make a difference in the skin. It will feel more like skin. That's why I kind of realized the more colors that are in there, but you mix them correctly and keep the idea of the lighting and don't make everything just one whole color, it feels more painterly and feels more real and unified in that sense. And then this is where we got to this point. This is where I really felt happy with this one. Even though it looks a bit muddy, I would say that it looks better, given just the tone itself felt really realistic to me to a certain extent, because I put some shading, bring down the multiply, and then just made sure everything was making sense. And then that's when I moved down to the lower half of the stomach, the more lower half on a more of an angle. Now this one gave me a little bit more hard time compared to this one, because I would say that the stomach's a little bit too short the way I painted it to a certain extent, so it looks kind of too smallish and looks kind of distorted to a certain extent. I would say even the belly button looks kind of funny. It looks like she got stabbed in the stomach, then it looked like a belly button. But that's my fault. But yeah, so let me see. So when I first did, wait, how many passes I do? I think I did several passes. Okay, so I can turn these down. Okay, so this is the first pass, and it was not bad for the first pass. I like this pass. Oh. Excuse me. And because of that, it didn't have enough colors. It felt soft and felt cool, but it didn't have enough colors. It didn't feel enough variation or diversity in the skin. But it felt right, like I was on the right path. So I left it alone. The shadows and the green hints make it so good. Yeah, I still think it looks extremely realistic, and that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to capture that rhino tuna. I don't know if anyone or any of you are familiar with that artist, but he has been making his rounds on Instagram and stuff, and I really love his work. Let me see if I can show you some of his work. Rhino tuna. Rhino tuna. Is that a Reno tuna? Reno tuna? Anime. There it is. So like, let me see if I can pull this up here. This is some of his work. I think some of you have actually seen his work before. Like, let me see if I can get it. So like, this is some of his work. Let me see, like this one. I really like how he makes them look so realistic. It's like super high. It's like between hyper realistic. How many years have you been drawing? I've been drawing since I was 6, but I didn't take it professional till I was like in 2017 or 2018. Yeah, I didn't go professional. When I say professional, I'm talking about doing like commissions and stuff. To a certain extent, I'm trying to get into like the gaming industry and try to do like artwork for indie devs. I don't want to go like AAA. I want to work for indie devs. I think that's more fun and more better experience to learn from than a AAA studio, given how woke most of them are. So I would like to work for more indies. Let me see. I've seen some of his works. He's super talented, and I would love to ever work under him or work by him. He makes such beautiful works. Look at this. It looks super realistic. That's what I'm trying to get, and I love the skin. The skin is like amazing. Let me see. I think one here is let me see. This is really cool. Like he did the anthropomorphic or antro method where he takes a concept and he makes it into a character. I think that's really fucking cool. I'm 29. Yeah, I honestly need to practice drawing clothes. I can't draw clothes at all. I put all the detail into the face, and then when I reach the clothes, I understand. I understand. Clothes can be kind of tricky sometimes, but there is a method to the madness when it comes to clothing. There is a pattern. It just depends on what kind of outfits you're doing. Yeah, the outfit themes are amazing, and it's the brush strokes and everything. You can see the brush strokes into his works. It's hard to see. I'm looking at it because I'm streaming it to the phone, but it's there and you can see it, and that's what I'm trying to replicate, or at least trying to capture in that sense. If that makes sense to anyone. It's gorgeous work. It's amazing, amazing work. So I'm trying to get to that point as well. Look at this. Look at this, bros. Like, look at that. That's fucking amazing. Who wouldn't want this, yo? I can only draw a pain dragon, sadly. Hey, you can work off that. So if you're like a person who makes dragons, make that your thing. You don't have to draw like people if you don't want to, right? You can work on drawing dragons, focus on drawing dragons, and specialize in one thing. In most cases, in anime, well, if you want to get a job in like gaming or anything, if you're good at drawing dragons, there'll be a lot of people who will hire you for that job just to make dragons, scales, and all that stuff. You'll be surprised if you're good at like one particular thing and one particular aspect in art that can work in like in gaming or in animation or whatever. You'll be surprised how many jobs you can get just from that one thing. Yeah. You do traditional art too? I used to, but I haven't done it in a while. Last time I picked up a pen was like, 3 years ago? And that was with a stream when my computer broke. But now I was going to do a traditional stream once I get to 100,000 on TikTok, but that's been a slow burn. I'm at what, 83 or 84.2 thousand followers on TikTok, so I'm trying to get to 100,000 because I did promise my viewers if I get to 100,000 I would do a traditional stream again, which is ironic because I get thousands of people watching me on TikTok, but what's funny is that when I did a traditional stream, I think my highest view count was 22,000 when I was drawing with just a pen, which was ironic nonetheless when doing traditional. So that's why furries are rich. Yeah, usually they have good money. I've heard that furries usually have good money. And they're usually in the tech business. Oddly enough, they're usually in the tech business. Crazy. So it is what it is. Bro, I only have 32 subscribers. If you post on like YouTube Shorts, you'd be surprised how much you can actually build a lot of subscribers just from YouTube Shorts alone. Or if you stream on YouTube Shorts. So there's that. So anyway, so with the skin, this looks really realistic on the first trying. So with that, and I did a second pass. So with the second pass, I made sure that there was more lighting. And I was trying to get close to the original over here, but I just couldn't do it. But I think I can do it now if I try it again. But because this is the reference here. This is the original reference. This is my pass. This is my second pass of trying to do the reference. It's nothing close, but it was an improvement for me to a certain extent. So let me see. Now, I did more detailed work onto the shadows to give it more form, but I didn't like how it was. So I put more color into it, and I put more colors in. So when I did put more colors, it felt kind of too distracting, so I didn't turn it down. I should have did that. But I said, you know what, let me put some shadows on top of that, right? And when I put the shadows, it really gave it more definition, and it contrasts the colors pretty well with the skin. So yeah. Are we just doing YouTube Shorts again? I guess so. The lighting is so scrumptious. I would kill for your art style. I'll be back next time your live stream. But you could probably check out my art if you want. I can give you channel's name. I usually do it for my streamers, for my subscribers. When I say subscribers, I'm not talking about YouTube, but TikTok subscribers, because I know what, I don't mind. Send it to me on Discord. If you're on Discord, you can send it to me. Fuck it, might as well. It's not gonna hurt if I look at it. But I usually do it for my subscribers on TikTok. Yeah. The reason why is because when I start looking, they start asking for my opinion for it. And the reason why I have them subscribe first is because if I do it for free, they're going to think when I'm giving a criticism or helping them improve, they tend to think I'm trying to gatekeep. So if I'm going to get yelled at, I might as well get paid for it. Because I used to do that for free, and I realized how I usually just I make an enemy of someone because they think I'm just trying to, I don't know, what's the right word, trying to gatekeep them, because they think if I tell them the truth, I'm gatekeeping them, which I don't know how that makes sense. I can't gatekeep you from, like, drawing well. And besides, YouTube exists. It's not like I'm the only, like, mandatory authority over, art. Art is subjective, so there's no gatekeeping, I posted some on my YouTube channel, and I won't yell at you. I just want advice and truth. Just send it to me send me the link on Discord. Join the Discord. The description's in the bottom, and just send it to me, and I'll check it out. I'll do you a freebie and check it out. But from now on, it has to be someone who's a YouTube subscriber. So I'll give you this one freebie, I promise. So just send it to me and I'll check it out. I'll even do it on stream when I'm on later on. If you ever look at my art, I'll just feel honored. I wouldn't care if you criticize anything. I understand. I get it. So you can send me your links on Discord, and I'll check them out. Oh shit! I think I put it too high. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now I think the colors are not that bad. It's not that bad. It's a lot better, I think. Let me see the lighting. Now, I would have colored everything in, like the outfit and stuff, but I don't have time to do that. It's ready for something, so I have to stop at 4:30. It's 4:24, so I literally got 6 minutes. So I don't have time to do them all, do any of it. So let me see here. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering if there's reference, I know some of you was wondering if I was using reference. And yes, I was using reference. Let me show you the reference. It's not exact, but this is technically the reference. And I forgot who it was who was referring to the ear earlier. She wasn't wrong on the ear. The ear was supposed to be more here, and the head was supposed to go into the ear at the time, but I was not worried about the anatomy at the time. So whoever said it earlier about the ear, I think it was a female, I believe. I think her name started with an A. I'm not really sure if she's still in here, but she was correct about the ear. Fine art, thank you. So this was the reference. I would have made this look exactly like this, a lot better, but I was focused on just getting the skin thing out of the way. Like I said, the focus was the skin, not the accuracy of even the anatomy or even the reference. It was just the reference was just a placeholder for what I was drawing, so I just don't waste my time drawing anything random. So I had something as a base just to draw and then do the painting. So just to be clear, this is more accurate to what was supposed to be drawn, even anatomy-wise, I would say. I don't know too much of the ear here. I don't think that's too accurate here, but she wasn't wrong about what the ear was supposed to be placed like. I just don't think it would look like this per se, but from the neck down, everything was accurate, anatomy-wise. But the only issue why mine still looks kind of right, or not to say right, but look pleasing, is because of the coloring. Now, if I drew this correctly, this would have looked a trillion times better. But the focus was just on the coloring. So that's pretty much. So yeah. But thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you. So I think we did a great job because I think what really kicked this off is when I was doing I might even do this now. I might actually go back and finally color this in. Actually, I might do it now. Let me see if I can try it. I'm gonna try it just for the fuck of it. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna take this away. I'm gonna try painting this now. Like that. And then switch another color. Very good job, thank you. Okay, like that. I feel a little more confident in my skin. I want to see if I can do it like that. So the lighting's coming down from like it's actually coming this way. So we're going to keep that lighting intact. Okay, and then I'm gonna shift the color a little bit. Ooh. There we go. Okay. That, and then I'm gonna darken a little bit more. And then we're gonna turn this down a little. Well, not that yet. I'm gonna shift the colors a little bit more. Oh, not that. Not that light. Hold on. Go. And then put some colors here. So. And then up that. Let me see. It's so good, actually. I'm like obsessed with your art style. Thank you. I like how it went from flat to stomach. Good shading. I'm trying my best to understand shading a lot better with alongside the forms. I feel a little more confident, but I can still make mistakes, so bear with me on this. I gotta get off in like a couple minutes. I just gotta see if I can just do it real quick. I think the best way is to time yourself. And that's scary to do because a lot of people don't want to do that. You should time yourself and see how well things go. And how long it takes you to get to point A to point B. Okay. Now, I need a little more darkness in here. Now, I'm gonna a little more dark here. If it's a little bit more realistic. Then shading there. I'm gonna switch to another brush just for the hell of it. There's no particular reason. I'm just literally switching brushes just to keep texture there. Oops. Just to keep texture. That's it. Nothing more. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna switch to another brush. I don't like that one. This is just based on preference. This is not like any specific reason why I'm switching. It's just because I'm switching for the sake of switching. It's not for like a technique or anything like that. I'm just literally switching. Okay. So if that's my reason. I don't know if there's like a particular reason for people to do that, but that's my reason. I'm just doing it just for the sake of texture and just shading and all that stuff. Okay. Let's turn this down a little bit. Put multiply on that. Turn it down. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna take a soft brush and add some more shading. You're like my sister, who's also really good at art. Thank you, I appreciate it. I think my cats are killing each other right now. Okay, spending time on your training hands and mind and practicing art is amazingly mind-blowing to me. You've got such great skills. I'm proud of you, even though I don't know you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jory. Jory? Is it Jory? I'm saying Jory, right? Jory Hattie. Jory Hattie. I think that's what I'm saying it right. Please let me know if I'm putting respect on that name. Don't lie. We all joking. Let me see. Yeah, it looks really good. Mr. I'm talking about. I think what really kicked it off for me, on this journey of trying to get good at skin, ironically, wasn't this. It was the drawing I was doing on 2B. It was a 2B drawing. It was this one. I was working on this, and I was very insecure about the skin because I wanted to look sexy and nice because she was trending on Twitter, right? So I wanted to draw her very well, but I was not too sure on the skin shading. So I try to compensate it by changing the skin color to the dark version of her. I think there's two versions of her. There's like a fan art version of her being black. So like it was this one. But when I did this version, I was like, wait, I'm not sure if the shading's correct because I have never like shaded dark skin that well before. So it was really hard for me to understand if I was doing it correctly at the time. So like it was really hard for me to understand if I was doing it right. But now with better understanding, I could probably put more color into the skin and look a lot more cooler. Alongside her looking really attractive and sexy with the drawings I did on her. I actually like the black hair on her and the black thing. It looks kind of cool, not gonna lie. I'm screenshotting this. You do that, you do that. Alright, so that's pretty much what that was. This is what kicked this off because I was really proud of myself when I did this because of the skin. But I wasn't proud of myself if it was accurate. So that's what bothered me because it didn't feel like skin, but it felt like skin. And I think what I fell in love with was the idea that it looks 3D, but it wasn't accurate. So that's where I think I fucked off on that one. So yeah. Alright. So let me see here. She caked up. I fell in love with it too. I hear you. Alright, so let me give her a little bit more brushing. Oh, a painterly blender. That's what this is called? Oh, I actually like this. I've never seen this before. Painterly blender. Like that. And then make it more. Where's the blur to blend? Oh, blur. I wanted a blur. Am I doing this? Where'd the shading go? The fuck? Where did the shading go? Where did that shading go? Oh, there it is. Okay, that's where I was. Okay. And blend. There we go. Wow, it actually looks a lot better to a certain extent. It could look a little better, but I'm not disappointed. Kind of happy about that. Okay, so I'm gonna put some reds more into our skin so it feels a bit more lifelike. I'm gonna use a big brush. Oop. Let me see. Lizzie, this chat legit has me dying. Oh, nice art. Thank you, bro. It's chatting, going wild. Let me see. Holy mackerel. You know, every time I hear holy mackerel, I think of Ed and Eddie. Like the cake industry. Oh my god. If he's a manga artist, you know, some company wants to make something. I hear you. Okay. So we're gonna put some color into our skin here so the time when I put skin is at the transitioning period of the shadow. So it's the bridge between the shadow and the light, like the midtones, I'll say, like that. And I'll soften them in a little bit, and then what I'll do is turn it down. There we go. There we go. Now, a little better. Like that, okay. And then I'll take another color, and give her some blues, because she does have purple hair, so I'm gonna put the purples in there. I would say her shoulder's a little bit too sharp here, but that's not important. So I'm gonna put a little bit more in here. The person in the art has really good personality too. I'm pretty sure they do. Let me see. Like that. Okay. Oh, actually no, I did that wrong. I put it everywhere. It was supposed to be just at the top half here, and here, about here and here, right? And then we'll turn it down. Oh, actually, we'll mix it in, actually. So we'll put in, so when I say mix it in, I'll put a little bit of the color in there, and then I'll grab and sample the color. That's pretty much mix it in. It's for those who don't know when I say that, because that could be like, it can confuse people sometimes. I think this will be a little bit like that. There we go. Right. And then we'll turn, I want to say multiply, I'll put like overlay. No, not overlay. Make it normal, and then bring down the opacity. And then I'll bring in some blue, because she's wearing more of a bluish here. And I'll mix it in. that. And then a little bit here. And I'll turn it down. Then I'll bring back that giant shade here. And then what I'll do is erase what we don't need. So I'm gonna, oops, I'm gonna erase. Yeah, I'm gonna erase here. Here. Make it a little more. Oop. It's a hard, soft edge like that. So it feels a little more believable to a certain extent. Right there. I hope that feels like more realistic. Wow, the red tints are very good. Thank you. What app's that? Clip Studio Paint. Very large personality. It'd be beautiful if you make the eyes. I'll eventually make the face. I only stopped making the face because I was so focused on the skin. But I will make the face. Don't worry. The face will be there. I will make the face. I promise. Let me see the press over here. Okay. There we go. Guys, if you like this video, please, or this stream, please give a like and a follow or anything like that. It really does help. The more of you guys like, the more likely we can get monetized and I can start making tutorials once again. I really appreciate you guys did. I really appreciate you guys being here and being supportive and making your funny comments and stuff. So it's really cool of you guys. I appreciate it very much so. Mow my roof, by the way. Be right back. Okay. It looks like sunburn highlights, like shiny. We can make it a little bit more lower if we can burn down the sunburns. If it looks more like sunburns, I can put it down a little bit more. So what I can do is pull it down like that much, a tad bit more. And then as I'm erasing, there we go. And then a little bit more. Like that. Press. Like here and here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is add some light on that behalf. The light's coming through, but we're going to put more like highlights, I mean. So I'm going to grab the base color, go to our color wheel, and this is always the same pattern. We go, since we're going lighter, we're going towards the yellow. We don't go red, we go towards the yellow. And we go a little bit, we desaturate a little bit, and then we go to our areas where we want to put the highlights. And since the light's coming down here, it's mostly going to be hitting here and here. The highlights will be like on the breast here, or here, or here. So I'm going to grab our soft brush. We don't need a hard brush, we need a soft brush. Like that. And then I'm going to put the soft parts here to make it feel more believable. Like there, right here on the breast. I think this is actually quite wrong. This should have been, I don't think this part should be here. I can draw okay. Stop the sword fight. Okay. Every time I stand up, my cat stops fighting. Yeah, stop the cat's fighting. Let me see. Shiny skin. Okay, let me see. I try to draw it. It'd be goofy as fuck. Let me see. As be drawn. Okay, so I used the high artist. Okay, this looks super cool. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now we're gonna put some lights here. I'm gonna put it here and then in this particular area as well. It's gonna be a little bit here too, because remember the light's coming down on us or on our subject. And I'm going to really highlight this particular part of the body here and here, so it feels believable to a certain extent. And then I think a little bit here. Okay. Kind of wrap this here a little bit and then have coming down like that. I'll put a little highlight here on the neck. I don't think that'll make too much sense, but it looks kind of cool, so I'm gonna leave it be. The breast here will be here too as well. I think a little bit too much highlight there. You don't want too much highlights. It's gonna look really weird and amateur looking. Okay. Wow, that's a lot better than it was before. Wow, look at that. So let's see how we did time-lapse wise when because I know mostly wasn't here at the time when I did it on stream way back when, but so when I made it, I went like this, W names, I have puppy name Optimus Prime, let's go! Let's go! Optimus Prime! The pup. Okay, they get along in the day, at night, all of us are beefing, and I don't know why. Okay, got T1 dog, and he's kind of flat, kind of fat. Aw, that's a great name. I'll be full of this. I'll see an art of cakes. So what I did is put more clean sketches onto the character and did it in grayscale. It made it much easier doing it in grayscale just to know where the lighting was. And that's where I stopped at that moment of putting all the skin in. And then this is where we came in 2 months later. And it feels a lot more unified in that sense. It looks more 3D, it looks more alive. I think some parts could be a little better. I think here, particularly here, I'll put some color in there. I think it will make a little bit more sense to have some color on top of that. So we're going to mix that in there, erase, and then what we'll do is add some, I'm going to put a texture brush in there just for the fuck of it, because I can, because I want to. Put a texture brush, oh, like that. And like that. And then we'll do, because in here too. And then I'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. Because remember, the lights is knocking into the brassiere, into the skin. So it's bouncing into the skin, even if there's in the shade. That's how that works. So, gotta love how out of the 62 people here is only 5 people. I know, that's usually what happens. That's usually what happens with my streams. Whenever I'm drawing females, it'll be like 78, 90 plus people watching, and it'll be like 7 and 10 people talking out of the 90. I already know what their intentions are pretty much for the whole stream at that point. So it's like I don't even complain anymore at that point. It's usually a common thing. But when I draw a dude, no one watches, which is sad because I would like to draw more males like Goku, Gojo, and stuff. And usually when I do draw males, no one watches, so I have people pay more for, well, not pay more, but if they want me to draw a male, they have to pay me because it's a waste of time when I draw males because no one sits and watches. Ever rarely. Oh damn, let me see. Draw Gojo twerking. You gotta pay me on that one. Let's see. Okay. That's a lot better than it was before. So that's a improvement from that point. Oops. So yeah, so I already went over my time. So I think I did what I needed to do today. Well, tonight. I'll watch if I'm on the phone. Probably it's fine. It's fine. Don't make mangas, bro. I think I don't. A lot of people ask me to make a webtoon or make mangas or whatever, but I don't think I'm ready for that, to be honest. Draw Vegeta Goku making out. Why, bro? Why? The internet in the nutshell. Anime. Yeah. Let me see. Draw that. Okay, I got a warning. Let me see. All right. So if a company offer you a good profit for this channel is done. Nah. My goal is to get into character design. That's what I do. I do character design. That's usually what I do. I draw anime girls, but I draw a lot of character design stuff and give tips on how to do that. Alright, anyway, so with that said, I think I'm going to jump out of here, guys. I think I did what I needed to do. Thank you guys for keeping me company. I do appreciate it. The focus was on skin, So I'm kind of happy how this game came out. I wish it came out a little bit better in my opinion. Thank you guys for giving me the confidence to keep going, because I was feeling really weird about doing this one, but you guys gave me the confidence to do it. So I like to thank you guys for that. So I appreciate it so much. So I'm gonna jump out of here and get some sleep. So I'm gonna join the Discord. Yeah, no problem. Discord in the bottom. Cookie Bear Sugar Pie. All right. Yeah, the Discord is in the description. So follow me on all my social medias. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and stuff like that. I'm trying to build that Twitch. So if you guys want to help me out, please watch me on Twitch. I'm trying to get an average people of 3, and I can't hold that long. I don't know. I can't hold that many people. I don't know why. So with that said, have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for coming in. Thank you guys for being awesome, and have a great night. Later, guys. Bye bye.